Hi everybody, TJ Mack Vintage Cards and Nostalgia here. Collecting vintage items is more than a hobby for me. It's a way to relive stories, preserve history, and connect with emotions that time hasn't dulled. Every piece I add to my collection isn't just an object. It's a memory, a moment frozen in time, or a tribute to someone whose legacy deserves to be remembered. Today I want to share 3 pieces that together sum up my deep passion for collecting. Each reflects a different facet of why I fell in love with the hobby: nostalgia, history, beauty. And I hope as you watch today, you'll think about the pieces that matter most to you. What do you collect? What do your items say about you? I'd love for you to share in the comments. First item I want to share is this magazine that took me several years to find in the right condition and price. It's a newsstand copy of the January 23rd, 1978 Sports Illustrated commemorating the Dallas Cowboys' 27-10 victory over the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl XII. It's a game that I've probably watched more than any other. And not because I saw it live, I was too young for that. But when I was a kid, every Super Bowl weekend, ESPN would replay the 30-minute highlight reels of past championships. And the night before, I would scan the TV guide, set my alarm, and wake up early just to watch Super Bowl XII when it came up. When I finally got a VCR, I taped it, and I watched the Cowboys-Bronco game so often, the tape began to wear thin. Now looking back, I think that Super Bowl is the reason I became a Cowboys fan. It helped catapult the franchise into national prominence. A year later, in 1979, NFL Films and John Facenda famously dubbed them America's team.
They appear on television so often that their faces are as familiar to the public as presidents and movie stars. They are the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
And suddenly, kids like me, who live nowhere near Dallas, were hooked. The Cowboys were on TV every week, and I was glued to the screen. Now this magazine takes me right back to that feeling. The cover features co-MVPs Harvey Martin and Randy White celebrating. And when I see it, I can hear Sam Spence's stirring track on the winning side playing as Tom Landry is hoisted into the air. It's not just a collectible, it's a time machine. And to complement this piece, I added this 1977 Topps card of Lyle Alzado, the face of the Broncos' famed Orange Crush defense, and Roger Staubach, the heartbeat of the Dallas Cowboys. These items displayed together, they're more than just cardboard. They're a snapshot of a moment in time, a rivalry, a memory, and for a young fan many years ago, a beginning. The second item I want to share today represents my love for baseball history and the stories that live within the cards. One of my current projects is collecting one card from each of the different stars and Hall of Famers of the 1930s and 1940s. While I usually don't get any duplicates, I made an exception with this 1939 play ball, Bob Johnson. Despite already owning the 1934 Gowdy rookie, I couldn't resist this card at under $35 with shipping and tax. It felt like a steal for a player of his caliber. Bob Johnson, or Indian Bob, is one of baseball's forgotten greats. A member of the Chickasaw Nation, Johnson didn't make his major league debut until he was nearly 28 years old. But once he arrived, he wasted no time. From 1933 to 1942, he was one of the American League's most consistent and feared hitters, posting at least 21 home runs and 91 RBIs in 10 straight seasons. He finished with a .296 average, 288 home runs, over 2,000 hits, and an OPS plus of 138, better than many Hall of Famers. If Johnson had been given a fairer path, had he been scouted earlier, supported more fully, he might have reached 3,000 hits and 400 home runs. Yet despite the odds, he quietly built a career that deserves far more recognition. A 7-time All-Star, a top 10 MVP finisher 3 times, he was a model of quiet excellence. Now this card isn't flashy, but neither was Johnson. It reminds me that greatness doesn't always shout. Sometimes it speaks softly, and you have to be willing to listen. The last item I want to share is pure visual poetry, the 1958 Parkhurst Jacques Plante. I truly believe it's one of the most beautiful hockey cards ever made, and if you watch my channel, you know there's many of them out there. It's simple, a yellow block with his name, position, and card number in black, contrasted by a vivid image of Plante, maskless, poised in the Canadiens' red, white, and blue. He's wearing the classic leather pads and gripping a wooden stick, symbols of a long-gone era. The background netting is so crisp, so perfectly captured, it gives the card a near three-dimensional look. Just stunning. Now in 1958, Plante was at his peak, on his way to his 4th of 5 consecutive Vezina trophies, and helping the Canadiens win their 4th straight Stanley Cup. This card, it just doesn't capture his likeness. It captures the feeling of that era, the pride, the intensity, the elegance of vintage hockey. This card is a reminder that collecting isn't only about stats and achievements. It's also about art, about design, about how an image can speak across generations. These 3 items, a Super Bowl magazine, a forgotten baseball stars card, and a beautifully designed hockey treasure, each represents something I love about collecting. The way it lets us revisit the past, celebrate overlooked greatness, and appreciate the beauty in the small details. But more than that, these pieces reflect who I am. A kid who grew up dreaming in front of the TV, a baseball fan who takes joy in collecting players that time has forgotten, and someone who is enthralled by beautifully printed pieces of cardboard. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's in your collection that brings you back to a time, a place, or a person What piece do you cherish, not for its worth, but for what it means? Please share in the comments if you would, your favorite item, your memory attached to it, or even a piece that you're still searching for. It's these stories that connect us, and in the end, that's what collecting's all about, preserving meaning, one piece at a time.